Hey guys! Give some people some time to hop on in. I hope your Thursday evening is going well. Okay, cool. All right, so if you don't know who I am, and it's been a while, rescue folks. My name is Melissa Jakes. I am CEO and founder of Rescue Event Planning, also known as Olivia Pope Live Events. And I'm coming to you live tonight to talk about the lovely topic of weddings. 5 wedding planning tips every bride needs to know. If you're a bride and you're getting married this year, this is for you. This is definitely for you. So make sure you tag a bride, some tips if you're getting married this year or next year. So make sure you tag a bride if you are a bride with hashtag bride, and join us live so we have this conversation here about wedding tips for your wedding, your upcoming wedding. And this is the perfect time because tomorrow's Valentine's Day and a lot of people will be getting proposed to and love is in the air and all of that. And so this is a great time to really, learn a couple of tips. Even if you're not married, but you think you might be getting proposed to, this is good for you. So thank you guys so much for joining. I'm just trying to start a watch party on okay, cool. And I want to make sure to catch comments as well. All right, perfect. I'm trying to play around with my light. I have my ring light downstairs and I don't feel like going down. And I don't know if that's a little bit too bright for y'all or not. So we're just going to wing it. I like it with do I like the light? I like it without the light. We're going to go without the light, so it doesn't look too dark. Okay, so again, my name is Melissa Jake, CEO and founder of Rescue Event Planning, also known as Olivia Pope Live Events, and we are talking about 5 planning tips every bride needs to know. Okay, so tip number 1, start planning as soon as possible. Yes, be that person, you're engaged yesterday. Today, you start planning. Why? I promise you not. The biggest, hardest thing to find, especially if you kind of already know what you want, is a venue. And a venue, I have some venues that are planning out for 2021, 2022. So if you don't have your venue that you really, really, really want and it's not solidified, and depending how quick you want to have your wedding, then you need to make sure you start planning right away, because that is the first thing to go, venues, right? Most people want a venue that has dual spaces. So you have a ceremony space and a rain day backup plan, and then a reception space all in one so their guests don't have to travel. And so if that is you, then you need to make sure you start planning right away. It is important to start the wedding planning early. There's so many different options, from vendors to venues to making sure everything you have, and honestly, you guys, giving you the best options as possible. I like to see all my cards on the table and then start making decisions, right? Versus you have to be putting in a corner and then like, well, I only have these 2 options, so I got to pick between 1 and 2. Versus if you had 5 options and you're able to really narrow down the one that you guys really want, right? So make sure you start planning as soon as possible. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, enlist the help of others. Okay, make sure, this is a big thing, right? If you've never planned events before, there's a couple events in your life that you'll have to end up planning, or in a sense, even if you hire a planner, you're still going to, in a sense, end up planning, right? So you need to make sure you enlist the help of others. Do not try to do this wedding on your own. That's a big no-no. I didn't even do it on my own. I did a lot of the planning and prep work where there's still things that need to be done. My husband my fiance husband now did some work. A lot of different people in the family did some work. And then I had a day of coordinator to make sure everything was executed. So make sure you get help, especially if you are not good at planning, okay? Hire a planner, and which will greatly save you money because we have connections, okay? And my clients who come to me, they get discounts on my vendors because I continue to have business with my vendors, right? So that we have that agreement and understanding. So, and it saves you stress, and time and stress is priceless. So make sure if you're not a person to really be a planner, make sure you have a planner on deck. Do not skimp on that. The best thing I tell my potential clients, you have home insurance, apartment insurance, you have car insurance, people even have pet insurance. You need wedding insurance. And wedding insurance is a planner because they'll insure all of that money you're about to dish out for your wedding is insured and happens the way that you want it. A wedding planner is your insurance. Make sure you invest in that. If you can't even invest in a wedding planner, make sure you at least have a day of coordinator. It's not Aunt Susie. It's not Cousin Nikki. No, it's a planner because family members can fluctuate in their feelings and say, well, she won't even know that's not the way we're going to do it. I'm doing it this way. Easily can start injecting themselves into the parts where you really want it to be executed a certain way. So to avoid family issues, the day of, you want to make sure you invest in a planner who can then advocate to make sure the way that you and your fiance wanted it to happen, then it can happen that way, right? So make sure you enlist the help of others, i.e. a planner. Tip 3, get real about your budget. Budgets are real. It's not that imagination number that you have in your head like, well, we'll see how much it costs. Please, you guys, come with a budget. Like, what is your number where I'm like, I am not spending more than $20,000 on this wedding. That is it. Like that, if it's going to take you and your family some time to build up funds, if it's going to be like, I have a payment plan and I know for the next 2 years, I'm saving X amount of dollars, which will equate to $20,000, $15,000, $10,000, whatever your number is. Put a realistic budget together and stick to your numbers because you can easily get thrown off by the beauty and all of the stuff of weddings that happen. And it happens. And so you want to make sure that you're staying to your budget, something that's realistic. Wedding days can become very expensive. And so you want to make sure you're staying realistic. It easily can become expensive if you just kind of get in the hype of everything. You're like, oh yeah, I want that, I want that, I want that. Oh, that's amazing, it looks beautiful. It comes with a price. So make sure that budget will kind of will you back in. And also that planner will will you back in. Hey, well, you told me your budget is this now. And I'm very, very, very known to my clients. Nobody has bills on the table after the wedding. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in personal loans, taking out interest rates. You don't want to start off your marriage that way, right? Financially, that's just not the smartest thing to do. It is one day, but we're still going to make it fabulous one day in the way that you envision it. But we want to make sure we're spending the correct money and budget that you guys allotted for, because you still have to live after that one day, right? And so a good type of saving plan is between 12 to 18 months. And that's a good type of savings plan. I did 2 years. I think I did a planning of 2 years of savings. And so it just really depends on how quick you want to get married and how much patience you have. So make sure you guys, sit down together and really come up with a realistic budget. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4, figure out the most important about your day. What is the most important thing about your big day that you want? For some people, it's like, I love flowers. I need flowers, Melissa. I need to see flowers everywhere, okay? Some people like, I'm big on food, okay? I can care about the decor. My food must be together. Must be together. So you want to make sure your food is together. The other thing is, some people like uplighting and they're big on decor. So like their decor must be out this world. I don't care anything else. But when I walk in, if anybody's seen them, I can't remember which Medea wedding it is, or which Medea movie, one of the Tyler Perry movies where there's like angels hanging from the ceilings and everybody's in white. You know, some people are like, that is my vision, my decor. I need to walk in feeling like angelic. So whatever the what's that important thing that is very important to you for your big day, make sure you let your planner know that, so that is the focus of where maybe that line item in your budget is going to be a little bit larger for that, because that's really what's most important to you. But remember, it is one day. You have the rest of your life with your spouse, so don't stress over the small things, okay? And that some things that people won't even notice, right? So the most important thing is to make sure that you get down the aisle. Of course, traditions are very important, so make sure you let your event planner know that. If it's especially if it's a cultural thing, make sure your wedding planner knows, like, this must happen. It's very cultural. If it's going to be having flowers or a memory box or a cross that's going to be sitting next to the parents because grandparents are no longer around, or vice versa. Grandparents are around, but maybe mom or dad is not. Whatever that is, and whatever the tradition is for different people, make sure you let the wedding planner or event planner know, because then that's really big for you, right? So things that are like, I make a list of like things that must have, not a long extensive list, at least 5 things. Like, these are really must do's that I must have in the wedding. That's very important to me, that if it didn't happen, I might as well have not gotten married, right? So that's tip number 4. And tip number 5 is my favorite thing to do. Sit down. Sit down. No, it is basically have a self-care plan, because things become very stressful. So you want to make sure you're not getting yourself sick. Brides and grooms, or bride and grooms and grooms, or whoever, as you get closer, things do get hectic, and it also can weigh on your body. And so stress weighs on people's body differently. So you want to make sure that you're having a self-care plan. So what does that look like? Make sure you have enough self-care plan time before the big day. Is very important not to be too stressed out days before the wedding. It can pop up in different ways, like on your skin. So though you may try to have that flawless skin, you can have hives happen. I think I had hives happen on my back. It was so weird. Not eating right, or not eating at all. We don't want anybody passing out. Looking very tired, like having bags, just look like you're out of it, like you're exhausted. And then mentally not being able to handle simple tasks, right? So we need you to be emotionally, mentally, spiritually here and enjoying the moment. Like, hopefully you're getting married only once. And if this is your 3rd, 4th time, that's fine too. But we want to make sure that you're in the moment for this special day that is happening. So make sure you have a self-care plan. Okay. So to recap, you guys, and if you have questions, make sure you post it so I can see and answer them for you. So start as soon as possible. That's tip number 1, to start as soon as possible. 2, enlist help of others, i.e. event planner. Do not do this on your own. 3, get real about your budget. Sit down and say, this is our number and we're not moving from it. 4, figure out what's most important to you. What are those things that like must happen at the wedding? If it doesn't happen, I might as well not even have a wedding. And then 5, have a self-care plan, please. We need healthy brides, grooms, mom of the bride, father of the groom, all of that stuff. Everybody, we need you guys to be healthy and well. So those are the 5 wedding tips every bride needs to know. So please, you guys, drop comments below. Let me know what you guys think. And if you guys have any questions, I'll wait around a little bit more. If you guys have questions. let's see. And also share it. So if you guys have any questions, then please invite and share to somebody who might be getting married soon, recently engaged, or you might be getting engaged tomorrow and you don't even know it yet. So this video might be for you too. So thank you guys so much for joining me this evening. My name is Melissa Jake, CEO and founder of Rescue Event Planning, also known as Olivia Pope Live Events. And we come here live once a week. Once a week we come live to talk about different topics for event planning needs. Thank you guys. Bye.